Hello, I'm Éric Sauvé. Welcome to the second session about Power Platform licenses demystified. This is a follow-up to my Scottish Summit 2022 session, and today we'll be talking about the basic concepts. First of all, what's an app in the Power Platform world? This will matter because in some cases you may have seeded licenses versus other situations where you need an actual license. And to ensure you know how many apps your users are accessing, it's good to understand what an app actually is. So all apps are custom. So here we're not talking about first-party apps such as Dynamics. You have different types of Power Apps in the Power Platform, such as model-driven, canvas, and portals. Keep in mind, our pages are still in preview, so that's why here I'm referring to portals. As for embedded canvas apps, you may have seen that feature. The embedded canvas apps do not count as an actual app. It's only the hosting model-driven app that counts. As for connector types, why do they matter? Because they will define what type of license you may need for your Flow or your Power Apps app. So the standard connectors, those are part of Microsoft 365 ecosystem. So you can think of SharePoint or Outlook. Those are standard connectors. As for premium, anything else outside of the Microsoft 365 ecosystem is a premium connector. And that's when you usually have to consider a full-fledged license. Here you can think of Dataverse, for example. What about custom? That's when you create your own. So for your tailored scenario, create your own connector. That's a custom connector. As for on-premise, those are when you access maybe like a good old back-office ERP system that is on-premise and you access it via a data gateway. Multiplexing. You really have to understand what are the different concepts for Power Platform multiplexing. Here, the rules and concepts may differ based on the type of solutions that you have, such as on Azure, on SQL, but here we're talking about Power Platform. So it's good to understand what those concepts are. I have included links in the article as well as below this video for you to refer about official Microsoft scenarios for multiplexing. You may also want to go and review the session that Carl Cookson and Chris Huntingford made about multiplexing during the Scottish session. That's a recorded session available on YouTube, and I've posted the link also. So multiplexing is really the concepts about trying to avoid, like when you're trying to avoid licenses, more often than enough, it's a scenario where you are doing multiplexing. At the end of the day, how many users are actually using the apps or the flows, that's what will matter. But go through the details and you'll understand better. Request limits. You need to understand this part. Why? Because as you'll see, when you have different types of licenses, you will get different types of request limits. So for a license, you may get X number of requests per day, and that will count. And when you get higher than that, you may get throttled. So a request, a Power Platform request are like all the different actions that are translated as API requests. So in Power Apps, all the request connectors and Dataverse, every single one of them is a request. In Power Automate, all the requests to the connectors, all the actions, including the built-in actions, loops, retries, paginations, all of those count as one request. In PVA, Power Virtual Agents, all the calls to Power Automate count as one request. When we move into Dataverse, create, read, update, delete, assign, share, everything for both user-driven and internal system requests all count as a request. And when you exceed, what happens? Get ready to be throttled down. Being throttled down means a flow, for example, that would normally run within 30 seconds may take hours before it actually runs. So do your calculations right, and you'll be happier. Your system will run more smoothly. Well, thanks again for this session. We've covered the basic concepts. In the next part, we will cover Power Apps licenses. Thank you.